Hello!
Hello, Paul.
Hello, Stu.
What exciting things have you brought me today that's clearly a Lookin magazine because it's in front of us and in the title of the video?
Oh, there you go then.
Well,
That's it.
that was fun.
Thank you. Pub. Well done. I thought we'd do a bit of a nostalgia digging.
Oh.
And just go into the misty past.
Thank God. That's where I like to live.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
It is cheaper. So the reason why I thought I'd talk about Lookin magazines is because, for me personally, they were a big part of my growing up in the 80s. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but has my surname there, Gannon.
I thought that said Samson.
Why would it say Samson, though?
I thought you'd got him off eBay or something.
There's a guy called Samson who's giving away his Lookin. No, these are all mine.
Delilah threw them all away. That was the problem.
Because they brought him great strength.
Yes.
So, to cut a very long story short, Lookin was a magazine for children in the 80s. It was described as a junior TV Times. TV Times was a...
Literally says Junior TV
Oh, it
Times.
does as
I
well.
didn't realise that.
And that's what it was. It was like it was a magazine that had the listings for the kids' TV shows at the time, articles. We can break it down. It had news, comic strips based on existing TV shows and characters of the time.
Oh yeah.
There were games and competitions, mini TV guide, as I've said, letters page, feature interview, and then always on the back page there was a kind of pull out of a celebrity.
Of Nino.
Again, I thought let's start with the strongest celebrity of the 1980s.
Who the fuck is Nino? Even I don't remember him.
From a show called Splash, which I think was some kind of Saturday morning show, like Motormouth. A lot of people who are in different countries will now be going, I don't know what Motormouth is, I don't know what Splash is.
It's a Saturday morning magazine programme.
Yeah, there was a staple in the UK that Saturday mornings you'd get up early and you'd watch your favourite kids' TV celebrities, talk all kinds of gumph, show cartoons, speak to celebrities, competitions, wackiness, get out, go to the pub.
That's where you'd see Mask and all Jim and all the cartoons like that, basically.
That's where I discovered a lot of it. Yeah. So...
oh my god, sorry.
Go on.
Just got to nip back to this. There's two things have popped up. Favourite TV show, The Cosby Show. Childhood hero, Gary Glitter.
There are two things right out the gate you don't want to be talking about these days.
Fucking hell, poor sod.
Likes.
Education. No thanks.
Oh, because it's trendy not to be learned.
Yeah, now look what happened. All your heroes are fucking monsters.
Home, a Hansel and Gretel type cottage. Right, okay, don't say that, then say you like Cosby and Gary Glitter.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's why I haven't heard of Nino in a while.
Nino also means boy or male child.
Does it?
Yeah. Well, he should have a thing over the O, the N.
So anyway.
Yeah. My other favourite thing...
Oh, sorry. I know. Right. Sorry, you keep turning back to Nino.
Yes. I love him so much. Collector Page, which completes our super 3-part Splash series. A brand new series on the Jets, whoever they are, starts next week. So people are supposed to cut out the badge and put it in a folder, and then I've got a picture of that TV presenter from last year with the mullet.
Yeah. Look, a lot of these are in condition in terms of their thing, but I did cut out a lot of these and put them in a scrapbook, thinking they would be of quite importance in my future.
They kind of have been, but only in the sense that we're talking about them on
because I have talked about this in my podcast before, but I just thought in terms of your channel, this scratches a lot of the itches that you talk about. So toys, shows of the past, celebrity of the past. It kind of is a catalogue of tat.
There's Bobby Davro, semi-impressionist, semi-comedian. I don't know what else to describe him, really. Just a semi, to be honest.
He's a massive
semi-human. Demi-human Bobby Davro. Dressed up as George Michael. Yeah.
And back in that day, he didn't really have to do much in order to be an impressionist on TV.
No.
If you could do the voice, that's it. Any content was surplus to demand. You
just turn up and go, oh, I don't really know, Vera. And suddenly you've got your own TV show.
That's the only reason Bobby Davro would have gotten it. Yeah. He's back on the stand-up route at the moment.
Oh my god. He must be at least 8,000 years old by now.
Ash Frith, Barsham's mainstay, and he turned up in Cheap Show. He's gigged a few times with Bobby Davro. Stories of which we can't talk about.
Oh, I look forward to hearing those
camera,
later.
You'll hear them.
My God.
I don't want to close your channel down. So,
I can't believe it was literally says Junior TV Times on it. I never realised it was that TV.
I mean, Lookin as a magazine ran from 1971. So, this is 87. So we're already talking it's been out of the gate for close to 81, 71, 81. Do the math. 16 years? 17 years?
16, yes. Well, it depends when it started in 71, but anyway. We'll say 16 years.
And then it ran up until the mid-90s, 94, which surprised me, because I don't remember them at all in the 90s.
No, that's gone down. I mean, so it wasn't even killed by the internet. It died before the internet.
Just died before. And so, you know, if you were a teen and you were into your TV stars, you'd get your fix of all the celebrities of the day. Now, back in the day, the artwork... I mean, we weren't going to go into too much detail, but... If we can have a little look at these. These are your 80s posters. So, you know, you had Wurzel Gummidge and Mork.
Back in the days when Lookin had a hyphen in it.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being 2 words or 1 word. I can't really tell.
But it kind of shows you the wide gamut it tried to cover.
Buck Rogers, Doctor Who, Empire Strikes Back.
Clash of the Titans.
The terrifying TV series where old British men dressed up as school children for some reason that we'd never heard of until we just saw it.
That seems to be, based on our discoveries today, a trend in the 80s.
Yeah.
Of male actors over the hill playing schoolboys.
That's worrying.
Even Jimmy Cranky treads a fine, weird line.
Jimmy Cranky. That's one of those things that's very hard to explain to anybody who doesn't come from the UK, just the horrors of the Crankies.
But what was nice is that, you know, way back on, this is the late 80s.
Max Headroom, look, Madonna.
Again, Max Headroom was something I wouldn't have thought was kid-friendly.
That's entirely true, because that's not a kid-friendly series at all, is it? That's very odd.
I'm only guessing, because it was a TV movie at first, which... was set 20 minutes into the future, and it had this kind of dystopian thing going on, and he was like I want to say terrorist, in terms of he was breaking transmissions and delivering truth and random weirdness. What's his name? Matt Frewer, who was in the sequel to Lawnmower Man 2.
Oh my god,
playing the Lawnmower Man.
That was Matt Frewer in Lawnmower Man. I've never seen Lawnmower Man 2 because I don't want to. Yeah, exactly.
So, look, if you're a teenager and you like the TV celebrities, this was the magazine for you. So I thought we'd go through them today and have a good old rummage.
And this wasn't the first thing with like cartoon strips based on TV shows. There was stuff in the 60s. I've got an annual somewhere of something called TV Comic. And it's got like Doctor Who, but it's the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton.
Oh, wow, really?
And Adam Adamant and things like that. I got them at a car boot sale thinking they'd be worth money. No. They were not worth money. But some of interest.
I know there was another thing at the time, and I want to say it was called TV Pops. Very similar magazine.
Not heard of that one.
No, but there's a website, which I can't remember the link to now, which has them all as PDFs that you can go through. Again, very similar to Lookin, just has with a slightly different, askew look at the culture at the time.
Let's look inside.
Let's have a look in Lookin.
Quickly go through and show you what lurks.
Yeah, because I've got loads here. These are all taken from my attic when I moved out of my place in London to Southampton. My mum went, "Do you want your stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah," thinking it was a box. And it was like 8 boxes full of crap. And one of these boxes was just full of school books and Lookin magazines. So this is all period.
I mean, look, already Supernatural's figures, which I covered on this channel ages ago.
Yeah.
See, already on brand there.
Because the 80s loved their holograms.
They bloody did. Those and Visionaries.
So they weren't the same toy?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Because Supernatural's advert went, Supernaturals. And Visionaries went, Visionaries, Knights of the Magical Light.
I see
and
the
there's
difference.
a cartoon on Visionaries.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I seem to remember it being quite good, but I was probably about 8. So I would take that with an entire fistful of salt.
There are a few things that stand up to revisiting these days when it comes to nostalgia.
Yeah.
Cartoon shows is one of them.
Yes.
So when people go, "You're ruining my childhood," I'm like, maybe go back and look again.
Yeah. Don't want to.
Oh,
well,
there
stop
you go.
then. Oh, a little bit of software. Spiky Harold for the Atari 8-bit. £1.99 from Silver 199, which was Firebird Silver, actually.
Oh, really?
You tits.
So this was the pre-Sonic the Hedgehog character by quite a large margin.
My rather skinny hedgehog once. I'd never played that. I do recognise the name. I think it might have been out on like Spectrum and Commodore 64 as well, but don't quote me on that.
So Atari Firebird. So what? This was a home computer game, but what? Made by Atari? Or?
No, it's for Atari, for the Atari 8-bit computers. Because they had their own home computers.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. And not just one, but a whole series of the bloody things, culminating in the Atari Zegs XEGS, which was the Atari XE game system, which kind of had all the features of all of them. and could also be a standalone console that ran on cartridges where you could plug in a keyboard.
Bugger me.
I have one in the other room. I'll show you later.
Oh, I just don't know what's going on in that picture. It looks like an angry hedgehog.
I think it's going, yum, I can't wait to eat that worm that's coming out of... the people at home aren't going to be able to see this because I can barely see it with the naked eye.
I can barely see it. But for everyone watching, it's an angry hedgehog looking with quite... ferocious anger at a worm coming out of an apple.
I think it's hungry. I think it's licking its chops.
Oh, that's what it is.
Again, don't take my word for that. So, oh, man. Quarterbacks.
Yeah.
American football snacks. American cheeseburger flavour. God, I remember those.
But people have nostalgia for those kind of things, but you can pretty much get them in any corner shop these days.
And they're probably not 93% sugar. Or salt, even, as they were back then.
So I think Bobby's, which is, again, a brand that we've covered a lot on Cheap Show, tend to just repackage this kind of flavouring and just call it, BBQ balls. Which also sounds like the worst wrestler name as well ever.
It sounds like a film I might have rented in the 90s.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's next?
So let's have a little look.
Oh my God.
Here are the comic book stuff.
Oh, so, right, number 73. Hey, you, get ready, get on your feet.
Get into gear and hit the street.
Hey, you, get something with Sandy Toksvig and Neil Buchanan.
Yeah. This, again, was a Saturday morning TV show. However, when I watched it back, in my head it was much more of a kind of a magazine formatty show. It's not. It's more of a sitcom that happens to have interviews with a celebrity who would pop by that day, or the kids who would be there would get involved with making things. And Sandy Toksvig had the famous sandwich quiz game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which, if I remember the rules rightly, it was a trivial kind of game, I was not going to say Trivial Pursuits, but general knowledge game. And when you got a question right, you had to take a slice of bread and put a filling on it, and you couldn't answer a question until you'd done that filling.
Ah, my
so the idea
God.
was,
I remember the name of it, but not the mechanics of it.
And the idea is the one who got the best, biggest sandwich with the most layers won.
That's actually really clear. Are we going to steal that for Bartians?
I was about to say we're totally stealing that
Good.
for Bartians.
I'm down with that, absolutely.
I'll give Sandy a ring.
Yeah,
Thanks for doing your old
Toxie love, do you want to come over and do some more sandwiches?
And she'll be like, you sod off. Not interested, that's the past. I'm all QI now. All QI. And she'll hang up. Been there. So they had little strips in a kind of back page newspaper thing of popular things. So Alias the Jester, which was like Cosgrove Hall?
Yeah. If not, it was very similar.
No, it was Cosgrove Hall. It came after Duckula.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It even says copyright Cosgrove Hall.
Yeah. Quick aside, in Liverpool, Albert Docks, in the 80s, maybe early 90s, they had a Cosgrove Hall museum. And Cosgrove Hall was, in the UK, an animation company that made Danger Mouse, Duckula, sorry. Yeah. Alias the Jester, Avenger Penguins.
God, that's a later one.
Victor and
Hugo,
Bunglers in Crime. I could do, because David Jason voiced nearly all of it, and David Jason was basically doing Blue Bottle from the Goons, so he was like, Victor,
yes,
who is it that we are fighting today?
Oh, my Victor.
Oh, Victor.
Yes.
That was it.
We will be stealing something French, because I am putting on this voice.
Yeah, I actually have really fond memories of Victor and Hugo.
Yeah.
I think it was a nice little heist, capery kind of adventure-y thing.
Yep, and yes, they were the bunglers in crime. Yeah. They were kind of the baddies, but you felt for them. But they always failed.
And quite right too, because you don't want to start telling kids it's good to do heists.
The next thing you have toddlers holding up government facilities and nicking all the bullion. Yeah.
Now, what I don't know is how many of these were sourced from outside and how much are made for the comic in-house, so to speak. Because obviously number 73, Alice Jester, you'd imagine would be in-house. But Inspector Gadget, Scooby-Doo, they must have had to have licensed that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's in exactly the same format, so it's probably made for it. What gets me is the incredible quality of the art, right? You've got nice, really detailed caricatures with quite a lot of grading and stuff and shading and bits and bobs for the number 73. Alias the Jester looks exactly like Alias the Jester. Inspector Gadget's characters look exactly right. Even Scooby-Doo are all on model. That's really impressive.
It's obviously well put together, because these days you can just knock it all out any way you want, but there's some fidelity to the source, which is important in terms of tone and art direction. So they care.
They did care.
It's not the strongest material ever.
No, there's a lot of sort of physical comedy in that. But then again, that's what the cartoons were. So it's just being,
And also,
faithful.
it's like 8 panels by and large. The joke's just there to serve the last panel. It's always a long build-up to that gag or pun at the end.
Absolutely. What's on the next page?
Well, here we go. Here's all the things that are coming soon.
All coming. Oh, God, over the top. arm wrestling film, Sylvester Stallone. I saw that at the cinema at the time.
What, is it just Rocky but with arm wrestling?
Kind of, but he has a son. And
again, is it just Rocky with arm wrestling?
Yeah. But
Rocky 5.
The son's kind of estranged. He's a little kin. He's a bit sort of bookish, and he doesn't really get his dad. But then his dad pulls some burly men's arms to one side, and everything's better.
That's a good moral. Look at that, Fight the Navigator.
Oh my God, old Pee Wee Herman, wasn't it? The voice of the ship, yeah. Which I didn't pick up on until I saw it, bits of it again. You're like, that is quite clearly Paul Rubens.
I see. I want to suggest that actually it was a Pee Wee Herman sound-alike doing it. There might be people furiously in the comments section now saying, correction, it was Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens. But in my head, I think it was someone who just sounded like him.
You could be right. Shall we look it up?
Let's look it up.
Let's ruin everything with our phones, just like we
I'll
couldn't
let you look
in
it up
the
while I
80s.
point a few other things out now.
Please
because
do.
this was the switched on things that were coming soon. So if you were deeply interested in what was happening in Crossroads, the popular soap at the time of a motel.
Good God, the one with the bloody walls that wobbled. And
yeah. In fact, every bad thing people remember about 80s soap operas at the time were probably attributed to Crossroads because it was made on the thing. So what does the research say?
It was indeed Paul Rubens.
I stand down. I stand down.
I wasn't sure.
So,
can we just quickly point out in this bloody corner, 5-star.
We're not going to get into this completely, but
Brian Blessed, but also 5-star. They're all over Lookin magazine. I don't know if they own shares in it or something.
They must have. 5-star was a UK band. I thought they were American for the longest time, but no.
I thought they were American.
No, British.
Oh, bloody hell.
They released 2 albums, I want to say.
Yeah.
A couple of big hits, Rain or Shine, Systematic.
Rain or Shine.
Yeah. And that's it. But apparently their longevity was in Lookin magazine and not in their music career.
My memory is of them still having a strip in this way beyond the time they were actually releasing music.
Yeah. It's like this picture of Dorian Gray. They never aged in Lookin, but their music dated terribly.
Then when you removed them from your loft, they all just became decrepit overnight. Actually, they became decrepit quite quickly because there was a lot of drugs involved.
I believe so. I believe that was part of their downfall.
Which is a
Kids,
shame.
don't use drugs.
Oh, but do use Action Force. Action Force, fight a Cobra, the enemy. This was just what they called G.I. Joe over here.
Why was that, though?
Oh, man. Here's a story. So, G.I. Joe was called Action Man over here.
Okay.
And because, basically, we don't know what a G.I. is, it doesn't have any meaning.
Oh, fair enough.
So, G.I. Joe, it's supposed to be generic American infantry, but to us, it's what the hell? It sounds like glycemic index Joseph, and that's
I
not
would have
working.
thought with this whole isn't American stuff cool, they would have kept it, but
well, it did come in later, yeah.
Oh.
But they called it Action Man, as well we know.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe Action Man. Then, a company over here, I think, in Palatoy, made spin-off Star Wars-size figures of Action Man called Action Force.
Oh.
And they all had the same face, even the villains. It's the strangest thing, all Action Man's face, or G.I. Joe's face. Then, they started introducing repainted G.I. Joe figures into the Action Force line. Oh. Then eventually it just became G.I. Joe, but they repackaged them as Action Force. And eventually they gave up on that and just went, actually, I think people understand G.I. now, so we're just going to call it G.I. Joe and just put the American ones out over here.
See, the thing is, this never would appeal to me as a kid, but I do appreciate the articulation of these.
That's why I liked them. I loved articulations.
Yeah.
As an adult, I don't give a shit. I just don't want the ugly things in it because I'm just going to put them on a shelf and look at them. But when I was going...
Because you compare that to a He-Man figure, which is effectively a moving head and everything else is in place.
So almost, yeah. You've got the weird rubbery legs with strange poses with He-Man figures.
The weird kind of, prolapse kind of...
They all look like they were sneaking a wine bottle out of nooses up their arse,
Yeah. So, it's fair enough. I mean, I like the fact there's lots of onomatopoeia, all the helicopters, womp, 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 womp.
Yeah, it's nice to see the figures out. And what I don't like is every single photo is out of focus.
That is annoying.
Guys, this is pretty fucking basic stuff,
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
What else have we got?
We have... Oh, Rubiks Magic.
Rubiks Craze of the 80s.
Yeah.
Rubik's Square.
Yeah.
Cube. That's what... Rubik's Square would have been really
Square,
easy.
I was going to say.
Really easy
that's
to
kind
solve.
of Rubik's Square.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Because that was that weird foldy.
That's it. Always felt like I was going to break it.
Yeah, I did in the end.
Yeah.
Just because I got angry and I went, ugh.
Oh, you're a madman,
I had rage issues as a kid.
I'd have never been allowed to have anything else ever if I'd have broken it.
Rubik's Clock was the one I liked.
Rubik's Clock, I had 2 of those for Christmas one year.
So avant-garde, you.
Yeah. Trying to fix them one hand each. No, not really. I think I did it once, but it was quite an irritating one, Rubik's clock.
It's a bugger, that one. I remember enjoying it because it's very tactile. The whole gears and clacking feel.
That was Rubik's genius. Everything he made, very tactile. This, it's a big thing you fold and clunk. The cube, big thing you hold in your hands and spin.
I would say there's not much of a puzzle to this. It's more of a toy gimmick. Whereas the cube and the clock at least had a chat. And I think I remember getting one side of my Rubik's clock.
I was going to say, you'd got one side that, hey, I've done it. Oh, shit, you turn it over, there's another 9 bloody clock faces. You know?
It was a bugger. But, you don't see many people doing quick Rubik's clock challenges these days.
Do you know, I interviewed somebody a few years ago, and it was Tiger Drew Honey, which is a fantastic name. Yeah. But he's an actor, he's in Outnumbered at the time, was the big thing he was in. He's sort of the elder child in that. His dad was Bend Over. Bend Over. I know you have. That's not in a name drop.
Not in a naughty
Bad
context.
choice of word there, Paul.
I have been in a stand-up scenario night with him when he was doing stand-up based on his exploits. Turn my hair grey. And that's coming from me.
Well, this was his son, and he was into doing the Rubik's Cube quickly.
Oh.
That really interested me, because I'm like, I wouldn't have thought that would be even a thing you were that aware of. But no, he was a bit of a cube meister.
I saw some guy on YouTube solve 3 at the same time while juggling them.
What a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Was he doing 2 more with his feet and 1 with his bum?
If anyone can solve a Rubik's Cube with their bum, we want you on Barshams.
Yes, just so we can kill you for the public good, I think. Oh,
the comic strip.
God, an entire 2-page comic strip on Cannon and Ball.
Cannon and Ball are interesting.
No, they're not.
No, they are.
Oh, no, sorry. They're interesting, but they're not funny. That's it.
No, they are. I wanted to kind of defend Cannon and Ball because the 80s had a rash of really bad double acts, all trying to fill the gap that was left by Morecambe and Wise.
Yes.
You know? Little and Large, I will never defend. No. I find them like a black mark in history and comedy. There's just something... I watch them and I go, why aren't you funny? And then you watch them and you go, oh, that's why you're not funny. It's a bullying and a guy with no actual... what's the word I'm looking for? Character.
Yes.
You know? Whereas Cannon and Ball... Okay, so Cannon and Ball were a really good double act on the circuit, working men's clubs in the 80s. And like most people in that time, you worked your way up into TV at some time. An agent saw you and like, put you on TV. They got their big break on Bruce Forsyth's ITV show when he defected from BBC to ITV. Which was called like Bruce's Big Night In or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was meant to be his big thing. It was a massive flop, the show, surprisingly. But what was interesting is every week they'd say, also with Cannon and Ball. You know the only problem? They never appeared in an episode of it.
What?
Because the organisation of this Bruce Forsyth show was so bad, they would film their sketches, run out of time and never show them, or never have them on the show. So to apologise to Cannon and Ball, they gave them a show. And
I want that apology.
Yeah, and to be fair, it was reasonably successful. And if you're going to put Cannon and Ball and Little and Large in a battle, I'm going to say Cannon and Ball win.
Yeah, I would agree there versus Little and Large. So it was. I remember mostly the antics, of course, of the comedy character Bobby Ball versus Tommy Cannon, straight man.
Yeah,
I had a T-shirt that said "Rock on Tommy."
We all did,
and it had a pair of thumbs going through braces with real buttons, but not real braces.
Oh, that's a bit more elaborate than I had. Yeah. So anyway, I would defend them really. And there's a great sketch online you can find where they're performing with Rick Mail, which is the most bizarre sketch ever. But it's worth watching for the whole chemistry of it.
Bizarre.
They're very good.
Rock on, Tommy. What a catchphrase.
Again.
He's now like a really fervent born-again Christian, isn't he?
They both are.
They both are?
They both are. But I believe Bobby Ball is in a sitcom at the moment, isn't he? Playing a dad or someone to someone.
Ah, I'm glad he's still getting work.
Yeah. And they still do summer seasons, that kind of stuff. You know, they're doing the old set. Anyway, here we go.
Oh, here's the actual TV listings. Look, yeah.
On its side to save space.
Now we're talking.
For those who don't know, in the UK, back in the day, it wasn't just ITV and then the BBC channel, it was ITV within the regions.
Oh yes, so often considerably different.
You'd be Anglia, I'd
imagine.
Yes,
we were Anglia. Yeah, there's the Knights that people will recognise from the live streams.
That is Granada, which would have been my region, the northwest.
Grampian was Scotland, wasn't it?
Central was, I'd imagine, Central. Like
wasn't there Scottish? Yes, there literally was Scottish television as well.
Scottish television. Thames, London. HTV was Wales?
I don't know.
TVS, Tyne-Tees, obviously,
Newcastle.
Yeah. I don't know what TVS is. I don't know what
TSW, actually.
No, I don't remember it.
I just remember all the weird little logos.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was your TV guide section, but it only really focused on the kids' programming of the day. So, let's say Saturday, 14th of March, you began your day at 9:25 with number 73. And then skating, the ATeam, Bobby Davro, Me and My Girl, which is a sitcom. With, I believe, Tim Brooke Taylor.
So it's not even... It's showing them in chronological order with loads of stuff missing. They're just saying, this is what we think the kids will be interested in. I'm not interested in bloody skating.
Probably from Monday to Friday you had your CITV section then, the children's ITV part. So, Bat Fink, which I believe was an American
My wings are like a shield of steel.
That's the bugger.
Yeah, oh my God.
How dare you? I don't remember that.
No. Roadrunner. Polly Flint, no idea. Emmerdale Farm?
I guess some kids liked it.
Emmerdale Farm's on like 5 times a week or something, is it? They're only mentioning it once.
They're one of my favourite bottom gags is about Emmerdale Farm, where they're sitting down discussing it, and he goes, oh, you know, they've dropped the farm from Emmerdale Farm. I was, no, we can pack a lot more story in now. And there's another great gag. Oh, what do they do before TV? Probably have their dinner.
Oh.
Anyway, I love bottom. People know that. Yes, don't remember that show. YES.
No, I remember the prog rock band, but I don't think they had their own show.
But this Bellamy's Budgie.
Oh my God, David Bellamy, famously
with the underground.
Like, grab my grape nuts, which is something that Lenny Henry would say in his impersonation of him that David Bellamy never said. What was David Bellamy? A botanist? Sort of eccentric botanist who was on television a lot, basically.
It's kind of like a friendly, uncly kind of version of Attenborough, I'd say.
Yeah, and a very impressive beard for the time.
Very impressive beard.
Talk like this, yeah, boy.
Lenny Henry loved doing impressions of him.
They did. Good for him.
Complicated thing.
But we can come back down to earth with Curiosity Killed the Cat.
Yeah. A band of the 80s. I don't know what you call their music.
What was their big song? I can't think of any of their bloody songs.
How you doing? Sorry I couldn't get through. Why don't you leave your name and your number? And I'll get... I think it was remixed or sampled by someone else. Jamiroquai, I think, might have sampled it for one of his albums. Funk, pop, soft, pop, funk. I don't know what it is.
That's my favourite of all the albums. Yeah, that's interesting. They kind of look like they've just escaped from Borstal or some other young offenders institute there.
Yeah. But, we can skip through this. I don't care about Curiosity Killed
the Cat. Oh my God, they really do look like... They're coming out of the window at the Borstal.
They're jumping out, they're trying to escape.
What does he hide under his hat? I'm guessing demon horns.
I think all the lyrics to his soft pop songs. I don't know what those words mean.
Babe, I love you. There, I've written it down. Oh, the letters page.
This
These are
is the
always
good
the
stuff.
best bits.
Where precocious young people of the day wrote letters.
Oh my God. Star quality. Star Wars was on TV again last Christmas. I would like it if they could show The Empire Strikes Back again too. I'm sure other people would like it.
Probably would.
Andrew Emmanuel, Wales. Can't argue with it.
Should we at this point do that juncture where we talk about the other little letters that we saw? Like,
let's.
Because
yes,
you've done it on your channel before, haven't you, with doing your blockbusters?
Yes.
And the erstwhile host of that was a gentleman called Bob Holness, who I believe was an actor in his day.
He certainly was. Yeah. I found a couple of letters on Bob, actually.
Do you know what's annoying? It's like I went, all right, it's in the Tiffany one, and I've realised nearly every cover of Lookin's got Tiffany on it somewhere. You've got it there.
Up to that point, yeah.
I've got it there. So,
yeah, she's got another one.
They're bloody all over the place, Tiffany.
She was never alone. Her song was a lie.
Never.
Right. Too chatty. Oh, poor Bob.
Oh, poor Bob.
I used to watch blockbusters all the time, but now I've stopped because Bob Holness chats too much and doesn't get on with the questions, says Thomas Corner of Leith. Well, I think that's very rude.
It is very rude. It's his job to get people engaged in the show and have a little bit of banter at the top.
But you know what? He wasn't alone because I believe in this one. Yeah.
Oh, you've got the other one. All right, good. I thought I.
Oh, bless you. Were you going through?
That's why I was confused because thinking, bloody Tiffany's on that one, but it's not in there.
There she is again.
Yeah, she's bloody everywhere.
Shut up, Bob. I really.
It's very rude.
It is, isn't it? I really enjoy watching blockbusters, but I think Bob Holness talks a bit much.
Oh dear.
Also, he's more interested in the fluffy toys sitting on the desks. He should spend more time asking the questions. The prizes are great, the money's fantastic, and the contestants are great sports. So why spoil it with all the talking, Bob?
He's got a point.
Angela Donahue in Crook. Or she was a crook. I don't know which one is true.
The thing is, at most, 30 seconds of the show was dedicated to him saying, where'd you come from? What'd you do? Oh, let's have a look at your fluffy toy. That was it.
Yeah.
Then he got down to the nitty gritty.
And somebody else thinks there should be more dogs programmes or programmes with dogs in.
Oh, look what Paul's found. Ghostbusting good.
Oh no, not the Ghostbusters.
I would like to say that I think the real Ghostbusters cartoon is brilliant. I have videotaped all but 2 episodes, and my favourite characters are Egon, Winston, and Slimer. Very controversial choices. A lot of people would go with Ray or Peter, but no.
No. This is a connoisseur of the Busters.
He is. Richard Shipman, you and I are going to get on.
Wonder if he's still got them all on tape. He's probably bought them on DVD by now.
I mean, that's what I do. Get the DVD package on the Firehouse. Very expensive. I want it. Missed my chance. It's right, they're all on Netflix now, apparently.
Oh, now you tell me.
Yeah. So the letters page,
yeah,
lovely bit of stuff. Oh, they've got Channel 4 and TVAM there as well.
Oh, yes, a bit of ITV in the corner. And Ulster and Yorkshire. And the Telebugs, I vaguely remember those.
They were robots created to protect and serve, that kind of thing. They were very cute. British cartoon, I believe. Didn't run that long, but I remember, I have fond memories of Telebugs. I wanted one.
You want one like a real one?
Yeah, because on the TV show number 73, they had someone made proper Telebugs, you know. They looked pretty good with a TV monitor for a head, with the screen talking.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I want one. If anyone's got a Telebug,
send it our way.
Give it our way.
Send it to Telebugs, care of PO Box 472. Oh, the ATeam. Yeah, this was a huge thing, wasn't it?
They were reasonably popular in this. Safest Houses, ongoing. It was multi-part, so you'd over 4 magazines, you'd get the full story. And it's always the same thing. Because there were a lot of shows in the 80s that had that plot where, like The Equalizer, rogue agent walks in, helps a villager, or helps a town, or helps a person, solves the thing, and then pissed off to the next place.
And then never gets paid, so you don't know how they afford all the schemes.
I don't know how The Equalizer got by.
I'm guessing he sold drugs on the side to children.
Don't say that. The whole point of The Equalizer is like he did all this bad stuff and he was trying to repent and fix things.
It never goes away.
No.
I don't... Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Bobby Davro.
God,
he's not just a Bobby, he's a Davro too.
Because that was it, Copycats. Remember Copycats, the Impressionist show?
Oh, my God. That was like the most reductive, non-creative use of Impressionists in history, I think.
Yeah.
Sit on some chairs, or stools, in fact, and do a couple of impressions.
It's just... the thing about Impressionists is that I appreciate their talents. What I don't appreciate is their material, and especially people who go, I wonder what, I don't know, Elton John would say, and then they do this with their hair a little bit, and then say, I'm Elton John, I'm singing a song.
What if David Bowie was in Star Wars?
No!
Oh, use the Force. You know, God.
And then the other thing that annoys me is when Impressionists do impressions of comedians. Because how reductive is that? Like they do... Alright, so this is not the best example, Nookie Bear.
Roger De Courcy and Nookie Bear. I imagine less than 5% of people watching this video will even know what that is.
And that 5% should be ashamed of themselves.
God almighty. What makes you laugh? Everything. I don't like childish humour too much, and I don't really find alternative comedians funny. What makes you laugh? Everything except most comedy of the time.
Yeah, that is like saying, I'm pushing back against what's popular right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe he's got a point. He had his own TV show. When did you first start doing impressions? When I was 13. I did people that kids of today wouldn't remember, like Ken Goodwin and the singer Gilbert O'Sullivan, who was my big hero at the time.
Nope, his big hero in life.
Oh, in life?
Holy
I don't know why I put the word...
Because it's abhorrent to think that somebody would have Gilbert O'Sullivan as their big hero. I'm trying to think of Gilbert O'Sullivan's big song. I can see them playing it on Top of the Pops, but I can't actually
I don't know. Gilbert.
Sing at the piano, isn't he?
I don't know their oeuvre.
Oh, yeah, just sort of slightly irritating, very 70s kind of songs.
Yeah. Oh, anyway.
Max Headroom. Jonathan King, yeah, that one's not stood up well, is it?
Not at all.
We've got a monster count to 3 now.
This is the other problem, is it?
2 of them are from fucking Nino and his gingerbread house.
There's a certain yew tree, nostalgia thing going on with this, and it's unfortunate, but that's what history does. It helps us reframe things.
Yes. So if you don't know who Jonathan King is at home, kids, you can look that one up yourself, frankly.
Don't spend too much time doing it.
Cosgrove Hall again with Danger Mouse.
I love Danger Mouse. Anyone who doesn't like Danger Mouse, I don't want to know.
Didn't they just do a recent new series with Xander Armstrong doing voices?
Yeah, and it was written by some of the episodes written by comedian Howard Reed. Big Howard, Little Howard. And he was a fan all of his life of Danger Mouse. In fact, I think he wrote it into his solo shows. And then he came around to him one day and said, "We're bringing it back. I want to write some."
Wow.
And that's how he got that job. I even think the reboot's really good. It keeps that anarchic feel, but adds a little bit of the kind of new animation flavour that people like so much these days. I just like it's surrealism. At times it was very Python-esque. Remember the episode Custard? where they try and flood the whole world with custard.
I remember very few specifics about it, actually.
Yeah, it's dated in all the ways you'd imagine it would date, but there's so much of it that stands up, and you think, I can't believe they got away with that.
The villain, what was his name?
Baron Greenback.
Baron Greenback. I was going to say Gammon Greenback there for a second, which is slightly bizarre.
Stiletto!
That's it.
I used to do the voice all right.
Oh dear,
Got
right
it.
down here.
And Danger Mouse will get the blame.
Oh, that's good.
They'll all... I was going to do Italian then, but...
Si Baroni.
Si Baroni. They'll think it was all his setup, Baroni. Yeah.
Instead of a white cat as the blonde villain, he had a weird sort of space...
Nermal.
Thing, yeah. Just sort of squeaked around. No, Nermal is the nephew from Garfield.
So what that bloody thing is?
I don't know. It's probably named. But...
There's a great story about Penfold, who was voiced by comedian Terry Scott.
From Terry and June, yeah.
Now, apparently... When he first got the job, he was a bit ashamed to be doing voice work for a kids' TV show and wasn't very proud of it. He was kind of like, oh, whatever. But it was big. He would turn up to press conferences looking like a rock star, shirt open, medallion, looking like the tits, doing it all and being very proud of his work.
Oh, that's
sad.
I know, because David Jason did Danger Mouse. And
a lot of Cosgrove Hall characters, but yeah.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. As you said earlier, like pretty much all of the big ones.
Pretty much all of them.
But there was quite a rivalry between Scott and Jason, and they would... I just realised both their surnames are also first names.
Very confusing.
Quite a rivalry. So they're constantly trying to outdo each other, which is why the voices are so sort of alive and extreme.
Yeah. It obviously worked, because I think it also improved the scripts. You're trying to serve them both.
Yeah.
I love it.
Jem, truly outrageous.
How outrageous was she, though?
Truly.
Quantify that.
I don't know.
Was it 10 outrageous?
That's 14 true units.
See, my sister had this, and it was like a little truck that opened up, and it was basically speakers as well, so you could plug your Walkman into it, and little speakers, which is why you got the cassette with the music on, and things like that. And a little, yeah.
What was the name of the computer that controlled all the holograms? Synergy?
Oh.
What Synergy? And she had like a...
Yeah.
Earring. I remember very little of this because the cartoon would come on and I'd kind of watch the intro in the background while I read something, then I'd end up turning the channel.
And that's why no one liked the film, because it was like, we're going to take the name Gem the Holograms, but everything else you can stick right up your arse, mate. We're not doing it.
Why would you pay for the licence and not use it?
It's not cool.
It's like that to things like the G.I. Joe film where they just sort of nod at G.I. Joe and then do something different. Why using the name even? Because it's not got that kind of brand recognition with the younger kids. I don't know.
It's a funny thing.
Ian's one stroke. Oh God, I thought he'd had a stroke or something for a second. No, that's horrible. And this was like rehabilitation, but no, he's literally just a swimmer.
It's just bad graphical design.
Ian Mackenzie, 14 feet in height, is one of Britain's most promising young swimmers. This week is the British Club Team Championship, so Lookin asked Ian what it takes to make a splash in this tough sport.
Ahead.
Great.
Because that's how I'd read that.
Ian's one stroke. Tough sport ahead. Yeah, just talking about how he's like a swimmer. Man. I wonder if he ever went on to win stuff. I hope so.
Probably. I hope so. Hope you did well. If you're listening, Ian, or watching even.
Yeah.
I'm so used to doing podcasts that I'm just not used to visual stuff. If you're watching, Ian, get in touch.
Yeah, and tell us if you're now the world champion at swimmering, or you were at some stage.
More cartoons.
Oh God, another 4 strips.
Garfield.
6 or 8 panel, yeah. The Blunders, I don't remember.
I don't remember the Blunders. I remember Ratties, which was Spike Milligan's thing.
Ratties.
Yes. But I presume Blunders was just... Because it was a cartoon series. I remember it being on CITV, but I couldn't tell you the conceit.
I didn't even notice. I have no memory of this. It was like a duck with an eye patch.
Yeah.
All that's about. No idea for that one. No idea at all.
Anyway, more cartoons. You've seen them.
Yeah, Roger Ramjet, that I remember.
Again, we got that in the UK reasonably late, I think, because, you know, it'd been out in America for years. Batfink, Roger Ramjet, Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yes.
We got them, I think, as part of our early morning packages. Or maybe afternoon.
So they were made in, like, what, early 70s?
Oh, I don't know.
And we didn't really get them until the early 80s.
I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's any date on this, but there's not.
Copyright, no.
83, this comic strip was written for Garfield.
Good God.
We got a bucket full of Garfield strips. Do you want some? Put some more on the Lookin pile.
We're selling them per pound.
Yeah, we can't get rid of them. Surplus to requirement, mate.
From now on in my head, that is exactly how Garfield was always sold. And Woody Woodpecker. Did a crap CGI film recently?
Oh, it was awful. I saw it. I don't know why I wanted to watch it.
Oh, I bet that was painful.
It was literally like someone injecting me with Mercury.
Heavy Metal Poisoning, the movie.
Letters page.
Oh, the Lookin Club. What's the... Oh, just little things about the kids and that.
Now, you see, what I will say... I'll let you have a little look at this while I just find some.
Here is the most 80s sentence ever uttered. I think that Dr. Robert of the Blow Monkeys looks like Nick Berry of EastEnders.
God! No one has ever had that thought in their life.
You can also have 111 stamps free. They just stamp on your foot 111 times.
So you see this thing that says Club Choice and you get to say your thing.
Yes, yeah.
Apparently I applied for it.
Oh my God!
Shall we see what Paul Gannon liked in the year 1987?
Please.
So...
Right.
Pop video single.
Yeah.
Star Trekking
by the Firm. I had a picture disc. I gave it to Eli.
You gave it to Eli in the Ashens episode, yeah.
God.
He still got it. It's a beautiful thing.
Bloody hell.
TV programme, Brookside. Paul?
You're from Liverpool. You were just banging the drum for the locals.
If that had said bread, I would have burnt this all down.
There is a line.
Ghostbusters down. That was out at the time.
So you preferred Brookside to the real Ghostbusters? I don't believe that.
Now, the next one I'm a little bit more proud of. Film, Time Bandits.
Time Bandits. Oh, Terry Gilliam.
TV ad.
Oh dear, that's another problem, isn't it? But anyway.
TV ad, any film ones.
Or any Flim ones.
Well, Flim ones is what I've written there.
That's one of my favourite jokes in The Simpsons, when they're looking at these massive adverts for different towns which are asking for... come and film in Nevada and all this kind of stuff. And there's a tiny little box in the corner that says Flim Springfield. Can't even spell film correctly.
Is that the Critic crossover episode?
No, that is where Radioactive Man is from.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, food. It says cheers on toast. But...
nice bit of Ted Danson on it.
Cheese on toast. Yeah. Drink, Coke.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Clothes, tracksuit.
Ooh.
Both words spelt wrong.
At least it was in the days before shell suits, so it's still acceptable.
Oh, I probably still had a shell suit then. Music, school lesson, music. You see, if I have any regrets in life, I never learnt an instrument. I can play the ukulele all right, but I wish I'd learnt the piano.
I can vaguely read music and yet can play no instruments. So if I can spend half an hour vaguely remembering where the notes are on a piano, I can kind of get away with it.
Favourite toy of the time? Now... It was meant to say Transformers, although it looks like I've said the word Transformers. Which is a different thing altogether.
That's an interesting setup, but
very progressive farming unit.
Yeah, you've kind of written Transformeros, which are the Spanish Transformers.
Oh dear. Book, title and author, James and the Giant Peach.
Roald Dahl, yeah.
Roald Dahl, and then I just gave up at that point, didn't send it off.
You couldn't work out what your name, age and address were, but you knew all the other stuff.
I don't think, obviously I never got to be in the club choice.
Yeah, I would have put Transformers down as toys, I reckon.
What would you put in for those then, if these today?
Oh God, at the time...
What would you put down?
I don't know, pop video single. I don't remember much in the way of pop. It was probably, I'd have just gone with the music. And it's that thing, would you have gone with what you actually liked, or would you have gone with what you think was cool?
Yeah,
because when you're a kid...
On that, I'm a loser. Yeah. Brookie, any film ones? Put some effort in, Paul.
God. See, film, I don't know. I mean, would I have said Star Wars? Probably not at the time.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. Because, there wasn't much Star Wars around then.
You would have put, what was that? You would have put Young Einstein or something down.
Oh, God! No. It's hard to say. TV programme. I remember really liking Transformers, but I'd probably put Transformers under toys.
Yeah. You can do both.
Probably English for school lesson. Clothes, I don't give a shit. Is probably I wouldn't have written that at the time, but I wouldn't know. Drink, probably Coke, because what else would you put as a child? Food, Kentucky Fried Chicken or something, probably.
Oh, kids had the best culinary taste back then.
Yeah. Pop video, I don't know, something like Belinda Carlisle, probably. God.
On a separate little note, just while I remember, because there's some page arts portrait with...
Oh, yes, this is nice.
Pictures
of my cuddly toys. My cake in the shape of a Argentina football shirt.
Oh.
Hand of God.
Yeah. But the reason why I point this out is I think my favourite star portrait is in the Christmas special.
So that's Paul Young.
From 88. Okay. And it's of Kylie.
Oh, my... That's Picasso! Melissa Mays, a.k.a. Pablo Picasso, with her cubist rendition of Kylie, with a hat full of flaming spaghetti.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the hair, because the hat was just like an empty disc, wasn't it? But
and there's
my God.
There was a club choice. I don't know where it was now, but I remembered when it said favourite advert, the kid put pedigree chum. I don't know why.
I don't know why that's so funny. Probably just like the capering dogs.
Yeah.
But, you know, oh, fucking hell.
Because back in those days, that wasn't the advert just a man opening a tin of meat and then all these dogs jumping over walls and fences across a meadow. Until he goes, I only wanted one frickin' dog, I don't want all of you.
I've just got this image of a child sitting there eating from a tin of pedigree chum while on this advert. Oh my god.
Oh,
we've seen Nino on the back page, haven't we?
So what else have we got?
Right.
Matt Goss from Bros.
Nice. What about Luke, his brother? Which one went on to play villains in films?
Luke, I think.
Ah, that's something. Wait, you've marked a page. Let's see what page.
Oh, what did I mark? It might have been something that is now pointless.
Here's the Life of 5-star, which we were talking about earlier.
Don't care about 5-star.
5-star. Gotta say, though, faces and things, fantastic detail. And they really look like the people.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's nothing about it which is shoddy.
How did he have so many reference photos to work from? The bloody genius
I think what actually happened is he was stalking 5-star. And was taking
this
notes.
Is a documentary.
Yeah, this is the first reality TV comic strip.
My God. Must have got dark when it was just them doing cocaine. But anyway. Where are we? It's got to be something. Oh, man, Galaxy High.
Love Galaxy High.
I thought Galaxy High was 90s. Proves what I bloody remember.
This would have been, what, 87, 88, I think, then?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think I only did it for the advert.
First proper home computer, the ZX Spectrum Plus 2. £139. That is the pack I had with Crazy Golf, Oh Mummy, Punchy, Disco Dan, Alien Destroyer, and what is the last one? I can't read it because it's too dark, but I can remember that it was Ian Botham's test match and a database program that only let you put in like 5 characters.
Oh, those
and
for days.
Only an extra £60, you could have one with the 3-inch Amstrad floppy drive internally, so the games cost more and you had almost none to choose from, so you then had to pay extra money to buy a tape deck.
Well, that's useful.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's so good, the characters are jumping from the screen.
I have a weird, very specific memory of that character art.
What are they from?
This advert, I think, but I don't know why that's burned into my head. I don't remember like the kid in his ill-fitting denim shirt and the exploding monitor.
If it wasn't tracksuits back then, it was denim. Everything denim.
Yeah.
If you had denim top and a denim pair of jeans, they'd call it a Canadian tuxedo.
I've not heard that.
It's apparently true.
That is astonishing.
So, yeah, there's... Do we have time to just pick out some pages then?
Oh, God, we certainly do. This channel runs forever.
I think this is what we were talking about, Ghostbusters. I've scratched that itch. We don't need to do Paul Gannon's bloody
Let's
Ghostbusters.
go forward in time a bit for a 1991, a non-80s one.
This might be one of the latest ones I got before. I'll be honest, I think I went from this via It's Wicked magazine and the Bob
Crystal
paper.
Meth.
That's a different issue.
Oh, sorry.
To Viz. I started reading Viz and things like that.
Oh, yes.
Because I was all growing up one eye and a teenager.
Do you remember a Viz, I would say a Viz-alike, but only parts of it were Viz-alike, a weird, very, and looking back at it now, very left-wing political comic called Brain Damage?
Oh, vaguely.
Yeah, that was a weird old thing, wasn't it?
There was Oink and Zit.
Yes, Oink. Charlie Brooker wrote quite a bit.
Yeah, and there was a kid's Viz. Oh, and it's going to bug me now.
Oh, it's called something like Gas or Burp or something.
Something like that. But it's all poo jokes. That's what Marvel's Bog Paper was, basically. Bog Paper was its kind of naughty Beano, and it had Dr. Pooh and all those kind of and his Turdis. Jokes that now you'd think, oh, really? But back then it was like, I can't believe you said poo.
Nowadays we're saying poo before we're born. Yeah.
Quick question, because I don't know too much. Captain Planet, was it voiced by Tom Cruise?
I have absolutely no idea, but that seems very unlikely. It's possible, though.
I don't know.
Oh, well,
let's...
To the Googletron.
So go on, do the research for Captain Planet, and I will open up a page in this 90s issue, Lookin magazine. And again, it's what it is.
Man, there's some big names in Captain Planet. David Warner, Dean Stockwell, James Coburn, well, Frank Welker, obviously he's in every cartoon.
He's in everything.
Martin Sheen, Tim Curry,
Cummings.
Margot Kidder did Gaia,
Wow.
as did bloody Whoopi Goldberg, Jeff Goldblum, Meg Ryan.
Really?
LeVar Burton was Kwame. David Coburn did Captain Pollution. That's good, but could you tell us who did the voice of Captain Planet?
There must be one of them then.
Yeah.
Unless Captain Planet's a real man.
but exists two-dimensionally, so he lives in cartoons.
And look, just to prove how old Simpsons is, they're talking about it in the shops, these cards.
Oh my goodness.
50p each. Stay in school, man, otherwise you'll have to go to work. No, they're not mutually exclusive things you do in life.
Generally, there's not much crossover between the two. Yeah.
No. It's like, stay in school, man, otherwise you'll have to go to work. All right, let me figure this out.
It was David Coben.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right, good. Anyway, Simpsons, still going. Think about it, in 91, they were already not the latest cool thing on the block. They've been going for at least 2 years.
Yeah, starting off in 89, but didn't really become a thing here until very early 90s.
When Sky bought
it was probably around 91 was probably the time, actually.
But the games have been coming out and stuff like that by then, because the Game Boy had Escape from Camp Krusty, whatever it's called.
Yeah, they came a bit later. I think our big one first was Bart versus the Space Mutants. Yeah.
Unplayable. I've yet to play a playable Simpsons game, apart from...
Simpsons Hit and Run?
Is it Hit and Run or the other one? What's the other one? Because Hit and Run's the Crazy Taxi one, isn't it? And then there's...
Oh God, which one's the Grand Theft Auto one?
It might be Hit and Run.
It's Hit and Run. Road Rage is the taxi one.
Road Rage is the taxi one.
Yep.
Yes,
There's a crap wrestling game for kids.
Juggernauts was awful. Remember that? Versus the Juggernauts?
Don't even remember that one.
It was a Game Boy game, yeah. Basically, you had to use Bart and get through a bunch of
effectively mini games. Like the Legion of Doom from wrestling.
No, they're like Gladiators, American Gladiators. It's that kind of spin.
And there were loads of weird ones, things like Virtual Bart, Bart's Nightmare.
Virtual Springfield I had for my computer at the time.
Oh, God, I had that.
Yeah.
And the Simpsons Cartoon Studio.
I don't remember that.
I remember trying to buy it when I saw it advertised. It didn't come out for another 6 months. It took bloody ages.
Obviously, the arcade game was fun, but you could put any characters in that game and it would still be effectively the same thing.
Yeah.
But I have very fond memories of that in the arcade. And I would say maybe the recent one that came out, maybe 6-7 years ago now, the Simpsons game.
Oh, one based... came out at the same time as the movie, didn't it?
Oh, maybe a little bit after, I think. I don't really know.
That was meant to be
I've done an impression.
Oh no! You've got the touch of the Davros.
Look, kids.
Oh, Captain America, the 1990 movie. Good God. Steve Rogers, played by Matt Salinger, is an all-American boy with the body of a weakling who is transformed by scientists during World War II into a national hero with 100 times the strength he used to have. His enemy is Red Skull, who gets the better of him when he ends up crashing on a missile in the frozen Arctic. But not to worry, because 40 years later he's found and defrosted, so that he can resume his fight with the evil Red Skull, who's been teaching his children, by now middle-aged?
What?
Why are his middle-aged children going to school?
Why is the plot the Red Skull teaches kids?
Because that's cheap.
I remember a scene from this film, though, because I do remember watching it growing up, because in my head it starts off in black and white and then turns into colour. I might be wrong about that. Maybe it does,
the old Wizard of Oz trick.
There's a scene where he's trying to run away or trying to get someone. He wants to steal someone's car who's a friend. So he goes, "Oh, can you just get out the car?" And his mate gets out the car, then he just drives off in the car. And I think, that's not very Captain America, is it? Just get out and then leg it.
That's Captain Theft.
Yeah, Captain Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, what's green and hangs upside down in Lowestoft? You. A bit of local colour
really?
Here. Pleasurewood Hills, the local Norfolk themed or Suffolk theme park.
Also sounds like a porn film.
Pleasurewood Hills is between Great Yarmouth and Lowestoft. I think it still exists to this day.
Really?
My exciting fact about Pleasurewood Hills is, I don't think make out there Woody Bear, the mascot, who was somebody in a suit who had wandered around. I once went on a date with a woman who played Woody Bear at the time.
There are a number of questions I could ask next, and I'm not going to.
That's what happens when you use the some sort of dating service, I think.
East Anglia's
I never used one again.
#1 over 50 rides and show. What, East Anglia's #1? Yeah. Over 50 rides and shows. What is it #1 of?
It's just #1.
It's the only
It's the only thing. It's the only thing in all of Norfolk. It's just a barren desert with a theme park in the middle. Much like the Golden Saucer from Final Fantasy VII.
Superhuman Circus, I don't know what that is. Aladdin's Cave. Here's a word that I don't see often.
Groo.
G-R-O-O-G-H.
Groo.
What does that mean?
I ain't got a fucking clue. It's not a word. Let's just make up some words. That's fun.
Oh dear.
Where you find yourself hanging upside down at 100 feet up in the air. Visrolicon. See, I can make up words too.
Yeah. Myth.
Where's the new Milky Bar kid? Oh my God, wearing his trying to look cool with his weird
when
jacket.
he was, I think, a space age one, because he goes through his...
yes.
He was a cowboy for the longest time, then I think he was like a space adventurer here, or Doctor Who-esque.
Then he was a, I don't know, investment banker or something.
Right, let's get out of the way. Paul Gannon once auditioned at a tender young age to be Milky Bar Kid.
Was it this audition?
No, because I would have been too old for it at that time. I think I was like 9 or 10 or something. Mum forced me to go, and apparently I just cried all the way through the audition. Surprisingly, Stuart didn't get it.
They weren't looking for a constantly crying Milky Bar Kid at the time.
Milky Bar, mommy!
That's the direction we want.
We wouldn't want to sell this on a level of sadness we've not really had in the character.
Yeah, that's great. Also, if you could be hideously allergic to white chocolate as well. Oh, he's not. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, we wanted both of those things, to be upset by Milky Bar and also made ill by it.
Yeah, I only can't touch Milky Bars now because my mum one Easter thought to somehow get the role I should eat more Milky Bars. And for Easter, she bought me 3 Milky Bars.
Your mum's like the most specific stage mum ever.
It's not like I can be
You
powered.
will be the Milky Bar Kid or bust.
So for Easter, she got me 3 Milky Bar eggs. I wolfed them all down, was violently ill, can't touch them again. That and the trauma of the audition probably has tainted my view of the brand.
So, but I'm going to presume you had blonde hair at the time.
I looked just like the Milky Bar Kid.
Ah, so this is what was going on in your mum's head.
Yeah. I had very blonde hair, big glasses, looked like a dog.
How come you don't wear glasses now?
Honestly, I don't really know. This eye is useless, but the thing is, glasses won't improve the sight. So there's
actually no point in
There's not
having
that I can do with the eye, really, so I just don't bother.
I was going to say, because you've read these magazines absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I thought you've memorised them over the years.
I have 20 vision. That's it. I literally have 20 vision.
Right, time for a bit of Madonna.
All right.
Get rid of Garfield there.
Go on.
Madonna with a bit of a sort of cop... I was going to say cop art colouring. That's interesting. The police came round and colorised this picture. 40 talking bears to one. That, I believe, is A.G. Bear.
Yes, which I thought was a Teddy Ruxpin thing.
Not as clever, unfortunately. My friend had one. Well, he didn't have the bear still, but he had the box, the electronic box out of it. Basically, whatever you said to it, it repeated back in beeps, just with the same cadence. So if you said, hello, A.G. Bear, it would go... Brr, 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 brr. And if you said,
Right.
I want a cup of potatoes, it'd go... Brr, 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 brr. Kind of, but more beepy and shit.
So what was the point?
I don't know, but I really want to review one now.
If anyone's got an E.G. Bear...
Yeah, an A.G. Bear. But I might have a look at eBay later. Anyway, what have I marked in this one? Oh, yes. Oh, this is... So you got a little bit of Transformers there and a little bit of Labyrinth.
And Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah. But now we're really talking with gas. It's advertising the Howard the Duck movie.
Oh.
The first Marvel movie, kind of.
Ever?
Probably not ever. But
Really?
I don't know, because they had those like
Oh, I see what you mean. There may have been a grey area in terms of like TV
movies.
series.
Yeah, but
okay.
I think it was the first proper one released in
You're right,
cinema.
because there were Spider-Man TV movies.
Exactly,
Oh, okay.
things like Spider-Man versus those gangsters and stuff.
If I remember rightly about Howard the Duck, and I don't know all the details, apparently at, I think it was Universal, they'd kept turning down George Lucas projects. Apparently they took Star Wars, but no, they took down whatever. And so the guy eventually went, all right, let's do a George Lucas
we've
one.
missed out on Star Wars. We've missed out on Indiana Jones. So
let's grab the next thing they offer us. And George Lucas said, I'm working on this thing based on a Marvel project. And they're like, all right, what is it? Howard the Duck. We'll have it. And then Howard the Duck was made. And the rest is history.
I've never watched it. Apparently it is astonishingly bad.
You've never watched it?
No.
I remember loving it as a kid. And one of the first VHS I ever had to, of a film I owned and I loved. I think it's got some great bits in, but it's tonally completely misjudged. There's a scene where Howard the Duck gets a job in a sex house. And he's cleaning up...
bordello?
Yeah. Like he's cleaning up after sex has happened and there's slime and grease everywhere and gross, sweaty, hairy men trying to chat to women. And that's a scene that happens in the film.
I thought it was a kid's film.
Infamously, there's a scene where Leah Thompson tries to chat up Howard the Duck and get him erect, and he gets a feather erection. There's that scene on his head. There's a scene with Jeffrey Jones
Oh, good old Jeffrey Jones.
We can attach that to the U-Tree list as well.
Oh, not Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, he got caught with lots of kid porn on his computer. Star of, Ferris Bueller and Beetlejuice.
This is Stay Tuned.
Stay Tuned as well. Anyway, there's a whole scene where he becomes possessed by a monster in a very Men in Black way. You know the way...
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Very similar plot, actually, Men in Black and Howard the Duck, if you want to put them side to side. But the big tongue comes out of his mouth, horrible big snake thing, and you think, he's going to stick it in Leah Thompson. And the film suggests that strongly. Only for him to suck it out of a car and use the battery and drain it dead. It's got its good points, it's got its bad points. I don't think it's a great film, but I'm fond of it.
Lookin's view, okay at the start, slow in the middle.
It's got a great ending, though.
That didn't get Mark Kermode to do these, did
No.
they? Yes, oh my God. Oh, we've discussed this before, I believe, but one of Disney's neglected greats, Basil the Great Mouse Detective.
I am so super fond of that film. Basil is... Because I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan anyway, and I'm a fan of Victoria Armour and all that kind of stuff. It's great. It only really lets itself down by the fact it just came out in a real fallow period for Disney. And it's not the greatest brand. It was based on a children's book and things at the time. If you like Sherlock Holmes, it's brilliant. It's got Vincent Price as Professor Rattigan, the evil villain. It's got a good plot. Fantastic finale in the Big Ben Clock Tower. 2 great songs, which are never on Disney compilation albums of songs from Disney. Let Me Be Good to You and Rattigan. One is a very burlesque song, which is actually reasonably adult for the film. And Rattigan is a classic Disney song, just always forgotten about. My job is to give Basil... I want to get Basil some bloody recognition and love. That's my aim in life.
Didn't it have early use of CGI in the clock tower sequence?
Yeah, someone will probably correctly say it was used elsewhere, but actually the cogs within the Big Ben finale are all CGI, and it gives it some very dynamic action scenes. The fight between Basil and Rattigan at the end is beautifully directed and powerful and scary. And it's got that Reichenbach Falls kind of feel to it at the end as well. So, I don't know. I love Basil, and I think it stands up. Animation's not great, but...
Well, that's not bad, is
compared
it?
to what came after, like Little Mermaid and what with Black Cauldron, which is a...
Disney Renaissance.
Yeah.
Oh, the Black Cauldron. There's another forgotten one. Bloody hell.
Beautiful looking film.
Oliver and
boring
Company.
As turds. Oliver and Co. Beautiful looking. Boring as turds.
I've never seen Oliver and Company, actually.
Song by Billy Joel.
Oh, my God.
Well, starring Bette Midler.
There's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think the first film to use CG footage was Young Sherlock Holmes.
Apparently not.
Oh.
Apparently it's Last Starfighter.
Oh, but I thought that was the first film to use entirely CG sequences.
Maybe.
I suppose the answer is which came out first.
Well, there's also CGI in Star Trek 2 with the Genesis device, because that whole planet burning thing. And that would have been, what, 83, 4?
Yeah.
8? But
perhaps it is Last Starfighter.
But it's funny that actually 2 notable uses of CG both turned up in Sherlock Holmes films. So you've got the clock tower sequence in Basil, and obviously the brilliant stained glass window sequence from Young Sherlock Holmes. Young Sherlock Holmes is a film I don't also think gets enough respect.
No, I really like... I'm very annoyed because I had recorded Young Sherlock Holmes off the telebox ages ago.
Yeah.
Onto like the FreeSat box we had. Went to show my girlfriend. FreeSat box has died.
Oh.
And it encrypts all the bloody recordings on it.
Written by Chris Columbus, who at that time had just written Gremlins and I think Goonies he had a hand in writing.
I believe he did.
Directed by, even though everyone thinks it's a Spielberg film because it's very Spielbergian, Barry Levinson.
Oh.
You know, who had to do Wag the Dog and things like that. And it's weirdly, when you watch it now, it reeks of Harry Potter.
Oh, God.
It's got so much Potter to it. It's unbelievable, actually, in terms of, like, there's the magical fantasy element. Because when I saw it, you think, why are there living food, and why is there demons, and why is there a CGI thing? It's all explained by this drug, which is used to kill people, to make them hallucinate. It's brilliant, and it's got that great Egyptian cult music. Rami-tap, da-da-da-da. It's just great. In fact, great double bill for yourself. Treat yourself to Basil and then follow it with Young Sherlock Holmes.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, and Last Starfighter does predate.
Does.
Yeah, definitely.
I know
And Star Trek 2 predates both. because it's like 1982 that one, whereas it's like 84 for Last Starfighter and 85, I think, for Young Sherlock Holmes.
Well, there you go.
But anyway,
but without
guys,
Young Sherlock Holmes, you wouldn't have had Pixar. Because that was one of the first things Lasseter worked on.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so there you go.
There we are, guys. Go watch Basil the Great Mouse Detective and Young Sherlock Holmes.
Quick thing, because I know we're rambling on.
That doesn't matter.
Ramsey Street Neighbours Snacks.
Oh my god!
If anyone's got an old bag of them they want to send to you.
Harold Spicy Spuds.
I didn't even read that.
Madge Bishop's Burger Bites.
Oh god,
that sounds like some sort of service she's charging for. Harold's Spicy Spuds and Todd's Barbecue Ribs.
All sold at Morrison's for Spar for 79p.
Good God.
In 1991.
This really bizarre advert for Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, what? The game? Obviously, because I thought maybe a cartoon show.
It doesn't really make any sense. Inside the mysterious tower, all is quiet. Bones! Chee-chee-chee-chee-chee-chee, says a little dragon on somebody's shoulder. Hush, but something feels wrong. What? This lot have been dead for years. Dungeons and Dragons, they registered trademark. Okay.
You don't need that bit.
Wah, 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 wah. What could happen next? I don't know what just happened now.
Yeah, what did happen?
Fuck, that's weird.
Went into a room full of bones, and then one dragon was like, there's bones in here.
Yeah, and then a skull starts floating up in the air and going, wah, and then what? Well, that's me sold on Dungeons and Dragons for life.
There you go.
Right, I've got one here. Just to make a change, it's got Tiffany on the cover.
Oh, I'm sick of not seeing Tiffany on Lookin magazine.
Could you tell me what the free gift was, do you think?
No, it was the poster. That's the con. To make you think you're getting a gift, but it's just a double-sided poster.
Which is Rick Astley, or a really beautiful piece of artwork of the real Ghostbusters.
That's one of my favourite pieces of artwork of the real Ghostbusters.
That was used a lot on jigsaws and stuff, wasn't it? Because it's a really...
Interestingly,
good one.
It was brought out before the cartoon series was brought out, and you can tell because aesthetically it looks very different. Obviously it looks very different, but Egon's got brown hair in it before it was changed to blonde for the cartoon.
Oh, so it's based on early designs from the cartoon.
I wouldn't even be surprised if it was just a happenstance piece of artwork that they used for real Ghostbusters later on down the line. Because all the aesthetics there are basically the movie.
Really? Because they do seem to have the sort of teeny haircuts.
It's hard to see this because it's quite small. I don't have the poster anymore. But if you look at it in detail, it looks more like they've copied the movie than the actual cartoon show. In fact, the jumpsuits are all brown. So
that's true, yeah. So and you've got Slimer, you've got Marshmallow Man, they're all things from the movie.
Because the original pilot was for Ghostbusters, Real Ghostbusters, was basically the opening sequence. And when you watch that back, which you can see on YouTube, they're all wearing brown, they've all got brown hair, they all look like the movie counterparts as opposed to the cartoon series that came. And the only reason they changed the colours of them for cartoon was because, effectively, it's three white blokes wearing brown. So they were like, well, let's make him blonde then. Let's make him wear a pink thing and that. So that's why they did. Oh, I remember eating them. They were nice. The cheese and bacon was actually quite nice.
That's that sort of flavour you see very often these days at cheese and bacon.
No, it's more of a thing you get in a pot in Tesco's.
Yes. What I really want, though, beyond everything else, is a Walkman in the shape of a slice of pizza.
Oh, but you know what is in that picture that you can have? The pop quiz and the cassette, because I've got that somewhere in my storage box. So I'll try and find that and get that to you, because it's
Holy
great.
Shit. Well, that would be useful.
I'll have to have a look.
Well, not useful, but interesting.
Yeah.
Software, Brave Stars come out. The computer game. Fair enough.
Oh, that was just the Bob
that was the Bob
thing,
Holness.
with bloody Tiffany staring at us.
I can see your... Oh, God, that's a suit.
Batman villains.
Oh, my God, from the 60s series. They must have been repeating it.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
And all the... You're right! The Archer, I didn't think that existed.
Yeah, Art Carney, yeah. Oh, man, I have a weirdly encyclopedic knowledge of the 1960s Batman series.
Oh, you know we were talking later about which character was too similar to another? There
yes.
You go. The puzzler.
Literally, that was a script for Frank Gorshin's Riddler, but when Frank Gorshin had stopped doing it, they ended up just rewriting it for... Maurice Evans. No, Maurice Evans, because he's American.
Evans. Why should I know that name? Because the face looks familiar.
Yeah, and just kind of thing, it just didn't quite work.
Also, if anyone's watching this and going, why are the corners all bitten and torn off the side? It's because I when I was a kid, I used to eat my Lookin magazines, and basically I would tear them off and nibble at them. I don't know. Apparently it's called Pika, and I still have it to this day. We'll move swiftly on.
My God. Egghead, Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Everything. Bookworm, Roddy McDowell.
Yeah, you're right. How weird.
Otto Preminger as Mr. Freeze, although previously played by Eli Wallach.
What a beautiful name.
Yeah. King Tut, Victor Buono.
What was his thing? A distinguished university professor who specialised in Egyptology but had a blow to the head and took on the identity of Crooked King Tut.
And he became a sort of weird mastermind of bizarre Egyptian-themed crimes, but then he'd get another blow to the head and he'd go back to being the professor and had no memory of the crimes. So Batman was like, do we lock him up? Because he hasn't kind of done anything. Yeah.
Or do we just beat him on the head again? And then arrest him.
Yeah, they would never hit him on the head. It always had to happen by accident.
Oh, like a jar would fall off the shelf when its door was slammed.
Exactly. Cesar Romero is the Joker.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't shave his moustache, so...
To be fair, it wasn't until my elderly years when I realised he even had a moustache. Obviously, did a decent job. I will say this. Thank God King Tut wasn't like watching a Carry On film when he got hit on the head. Otherwise, he would have been like, oh, matron! And that would have been his crime based on innuendo.
Childish innuendo crimes. Yeah. Here we go. Oh my God, David Wayne's Jervis Tetch, the Mad Hatter.
Because when was Batman first shown in the UK?
Ooh, it would have been in the 60s.
Okay, so it would have had a revival in the 80s, I'm guessing, which is why we're getting this.
Repeats, absolutely.
Interesting.
Because I know it was shown in the 60s because there were some kids who, dressing up as Batman, jumped off a roof and quite badly injured themselves, famously. And like everyone was like, but Batman doesn't even fly. You silly kids, it's not canon. Oh my God. Catwoman. Can you name the 3 actresses who portrayed Catwoman?
There was Eartha Kitt.
Correct.
Oh, I had the other name and she's just gone, no, tell me. Otherwise.
Julie Newmar.
Julie Newmar, yes.
And she was too busy for the film, so Lee Merriweather did it.
Right. Yeah. Julie Newmar, though.
Yeah, oh yes.
Lovely, lovely.
Oh, fucking Christ. Hilda Ogden is drawn by David Icke. Bloody hell.
Hilda Ogdens.
Oh my God. Star Portraits of Hilda Ogden, which is a soap character from Coronation Street back in the day. She was a very sort of, I don't know how you'd describe her. She always had curlers in her hair.
She was like a busybody of the street, but everyone liked her. You know, she was a massive staple of that soap for years.
Always had curlers in her hair, but never actually took it off and had curly hair.
I've noticed it in all these. I've not really noticed it till recently. The club comment section, reasonably political for kids. This one says, I'm writing to complain about hospital closures. My dad is a doctor. Only just recently was able to save a baby's life. I've read that wrong. But the Grampian Health Authority plans to close Keith Maternity Hospital. Blah, 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 blah. I think it's terrible to close hospitals. What do other readers think? And then there was another one later about girls should be allowed to wear trousers in school. Why can't they? Boys are allowed. Blah, blah, blah. Can't boys? You know, it's like, part of me thinking either these are really forward-thinking kids with an issue, or the editor's gone, I'm just going to pretend to be Ronan Matheson, age 10, you know what I mean, and then put my political theories forward.
From Keith. When it said Keith Maternity Hospital, I wondered if it was named after a man called Keith Maternity.
Oh, yeah, and he delivers babies.
Yeah. Keith, mate, got another baby on the way.
I think Cliff Richard looks like disc jockey Mike Reed. What do other readers think? I think you've confused 2 men who wear glasses as lookalikes.
Yeah, that's not one of the... Good God, what is that?
Morris Minor and the Majors.
Morris Minor and the Majors. Wasn't that Tony Hawk?
Yeah.
Or Tony Hawks.
Tony Hawks.
Yes, Hawks. Hawk is the skateboarder. Yes.
Cool. And it's a big hit, Stutter Rap.
Yes.
No one ever sees what I mean from the age of 13. Yeah, great. All men caught in a mouth trap.
To join with us in the
Stutter Rap. It's actually quite a decent little Beastie Boys. They said Beach Boys.
Yeah. Phil Judge in the middle. I don't know who Paul Boroff is, to be fair to him.
No, but you know, I don't know. No one cares about Paul Boroff. So say I.
Turn out he actually runs the entire world now, just secretly. I've got a real little bit of joy here.
Okay.
It's a club choice. Somebody's put in their favourites, much like you did many years ago.
Yeah.
This week's choice is from Stephen Moore, age 11 in Coleraine, wearing his school uniform looking very serious. Favourite pop video or single? Wait for it. You're in the Army Now by Status Quo.
One of their best songs.
Whoa, you're in the Army Now. My God.
Dreary.
Favourite TV programme is Countdown.
Oh, maybe he's a wordsmith. That's fine.
I don't know. I'm going off him a bit now. Film BMX Bandits.
All right.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman's first film.
Yeah. It's not a bad bit of fun, that.
TV ad. British Airways.
Don't know what that's all about.
No. Maybe it had a cool ad at the time.
Did they?
Food, liver and peas. That's not even a fucking meal, guys. That's awful.
Mum, where's me liver and peas? You're having no liver and peas tonight. You're having Kidneys and pie.
No, mother.
Oh, it's not funny, kidneys and pie. I wish I hadn't said that.
It sounds like something an alien or a robot would say.
Yeah.
Humans consume liver and peas.
I like liver and peas.
Drink cherry coke. Oh, that's more believable. Clothes, Liverpool FC strip.
Fair
Oh,
play.
look at that. School lesson maths.
Boring.
Come on.
Stephen Moore, you're boring.
Maths, countdown, liver and peas. Favourite toy, top trump cards.
He likes statistics and numbers.
Yeah.
Stats. He's a stat man.
He grew up to be Stato.
He's the stat man. Biddy, 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 biddy,
What
biddy,
was
up, up.
Stato from? Fancy Football League or something.
Yeah.
Favourite book, The Mystery of Spiggy Holes from Enid Blyton.
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of that one. You'd think it'd be famous being Enid Blyton. But
Probably about some delightful middle-class children catching those foreign types who
yeah,
have come over.
evil foreign types or evil working class types.
There you
like
go.
the Stick family. Yes. The Mystery of... I think it's Spanish. It's The Mystery of Spiggy Holes.
If this man doesn't work for Deloitte or something like this right now, then I don't know what to become of him.
Yeah. He's probably got a really political Twitter profile.
Yeah.
If only he didn't have such a generic name, we could probably track him down.
I have thought about that, every now and then looking through this and see if they're on Twitter or Facebook.
Oh, man.
But I also think that's not a good use of my time. I don't think it's gonna...
Can't really... really...
Are we done now? I think we spent quite a lot of time. Oh, have you got anything you
I've
want
got one final thing.
Heinz Bean Street Kid. There you go. You can have that. Freeze it, copy it, read it at your own pleasure.
Heinz Bean Street. I like the kid with a massive radio on his head. He looks like Lobot from Empire Strikes
He does. Or like the world's worst Cyberman.
Really early Cyberman. Right.
Also, is that a racist caricature of a Chinese gentleman?
Horace. Who is Horace?
I don't know.
No, he's Horace High-Rise. I think he's just a weird gangster spiv type.
It just looks insensitive.
He's
Or the
just got-
skin colour
Yeah,
and the
he's got weird...
I retract that statement. I apologise on behalf of the Bean Street Kids.
We were never racist. We were murderers, but we were never racist. And I'd just like to leave you with what is the best pull quote I've ever seen in an interview. Aha! Popular 80s band Take On Me say, "We don't have an egg license." I refuse to read the context.
I don't want to know.
I don't know. I just want Aha to go down with Morton Harkett there saying, "We don't have an egg license."
You know what? A friend of mine on the BBC recently interviewed Aha when they were doing a live show. If I'd read that beforehand, I would have pressed him to follow it up.
Do you have an egg license
It's
now?
been 30 years, Aha. Where's your egg license?
Are there any other non-existent licenses you'd like?
No. Anyway, there you go. Lookin. You can get one of these. It's a modern reprinting of all the best parts of Lookin if you're desperate. This is for the 80s. You can get 70s as well. I doubt the 90s has been popular. But there you go. If you want to go and spend a lot of time wishing about all those lovely days of yore and how you can go back to them even though they were pretty crap.
Yep, you can go back, read these, and realise that, frankly, they weren't as good as you remember when you were 7.
Yeah. Time is a cruel mistress and humbles us all.
Is that Debbie Harry?
Yeah. Not to be confused with Wurzel Gummidge.
Or Metal Mickey?
Not Metal Mickey. Very similar hair across all three.
That's the takeaway thing to learn. No, the takeaway thing to learn today is that Aha don't have an egg license.
Yeah, that's it. I don't want to pull away from that very important moment.
Subscribe for more.